Hello everybody, welcome to Just One Perspective. My name is Josh. Thank you as always for joining today. You can tell it's getting late in the year. The lighting is just off. Half my face is covered. There, I mean, I could put the hat up like that, but now I'm just squinting. The sun is just like right there, and it won't let up. It just kind of makes this lazy arc across the sky now, and it's so annoying. You can also see all the leaves have fallen off. I think maybe in my last video in which you could see the leaves on the trees, they were starting to turn all the different fall colors, and then one day, it was almost literally just one day, they just all just came down, and now we can hear just how well the noise ordinance does not work even better, because the leaves at least provide some sound buffer, but now we've got nothing. So here we are. Thanks again for joining. I just got back from an hour-long training session of jiu-jitsu and ate lunch, and now I'm having a spot of tea. It's tea Earl Grey hot. I love this stuff. So it's kind of chilly out here, so that's kind of keeping me warm. I probably don't even need the jacket, but whatever. And I was thinking, so I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 2 years now, about the same amount of time that I've been doing this channel. And there's one thing that I've learned, and it sounds incredibly cliche, and I even debated bringing this up and saying anything about this. But my older brother, who you saw in the previous episode, he's been watching me play a video game on my other channel. That's really what that other channel is for, is just to kind of connect with friends and family in a unique way that I don't before, and it's cool if other people jump in and watch as well. But he sent me a video on the other channel, it was about another video game, about get good, which is a term in video gaming a lot, just hey, get good, and a lot of times people will throw it out as kind of a joke, right? You're struggling with something, you're trying to move forward on something in a video game, but you just keep losing over and over and over. And I just heard a bell, a bike bell, and Jarvis did too. So I'm surprised he didn't start barking at that. But oh, there he goes, right on schedule, right after I said I'm surprised he's not doing it. But that phrase is used by people as sometimes a joke, but Eric sent me this video. I can link it in the bottom too if anybody's interested. This video where somebody was complaining about, I'm just struggling, I'm not making it, nothing seems to work. What can I do? And the person he's talking to says, you should just get good. And he lashes out and says, that's ridiculous, that's what everybody tells me, I want some actual advice. And the guy says, no, that is the actual advice. I didn't mean to belittle you or where you are, but everything you do, you have to just work to get better. And there's no magic secret, there's no secret in the game. There's no secret armor or anything that you're going to put on or a weapon that you're going to upgrade to that will make the game harder, or easier and better. What you have to do is just get better at it yourself. And I think about that with my jiu-jitsu journey. And one of the things that I've learned recently, in the similar manner, because when you hear get good, it has multiple layers. The first layer being, I'm just being a jerk and just telling you get good, you suck, and that's what you got to do. But there's that additional layer that was present in this video, in which that person made it clear that this is actual advice and this is what I mean by it. And obviously you know what I'm about to say because it's the title of the video. Never give up. It sounds so cliche, and it's like saying keep your eye on the ball in baseball when you're up at bat. That almost sounds meaningless, but it's actual advice. And you know what? When I was in 6th grade playing baseball, I wish somebody had told me that. I grew up watching just movies and thinking that it was just like a dramatic thing that you say. It's just something you say just to get somebody to give it their all, right? But no, it's legitimate advice. Keep your eye on the ball. Watch the ball as it leaves the pitcher's hand and goes over home plate, and as you swing, that way you will be able to connect with it much more easily because you see where it is in space. It's it's actually more profound than it lets on, at least for some of us who didn't fully understand what it actually meant. And that's what I mean by never give up. I found myself early on in jiu-jitsu just tapping, just like, look, they got me, I don't know where to go, I'm done, I'm suffering from claustrophobia, I can't breathe, and I'm just gonna tap and get out of this, and let's go back. That's okay, especially at the beginning, and dealing with some of those mental hang-ups that I've been working through in jiu-jitsu for 2 years now. But now I'm starting to really realize that, you know what, don't hold out on it, wait another second, wait another 2 seconds, push through for another 5 seconds, because the more you wait it out, the more you don't give up, the more you allow yourself time to recover, and not just recover, but just hang in there mentally, the more opportunities you're going to have to be able to push through and make it. You may still lose, you might still lose, and that's okay, but you're still preparing yourself and training yourself to deal with more and get through more. So when you're not allowing yourself to give up, sometimes it's okay to give up. You're gassed, right? You've clearly exhausted all options, not just for jiu-jitsu, but for other things. But that doesn't mean that you give up completely. You've still got things to do. I'm reminded of a scene. My wife and I just watched all of Band of Brothers. I had only seen maybe 4 episodes back when it first came out, and we sat down and watched all 10 episodes now. And in the final episode, there's a German commander or general who, after the Germans surrendered, the general goes and addresses his troops, and he says, "I'm proud of each and every one of you. You fought bravely. You fought on behalf of the motherland, but more importantly, you fought bravely on behalf of each other and on behalf of me." And that general was not giving up. The war was over. He had to give up that particular fight, but he was still in the game. He was still being there for his men. He was still being there, the one in charge, trying to move things forward and navigate it through. I think about some of the generals in the Confederacy after the Civil War who decided to say, look, we lost, we wanted to form our own country, clearly that's not going to happen, it's now time to put that aside, I'm not giving up, it's time to move into Reconstruction and try to figure out how to do all of this, despite where we were in the past and the humiliating blows that I've been dealt. I need to move forward. And just for the disclaimer, I am not idolizing Southerners in the Civil War, so please don't cancel me. But I think there are plenty of things to learn from people like that who have lost and continue to push forward despite the seemingly insurmountable odds pushed in front of them. And that's because they decided they were just not going to give up. They might have to do a tactical withdrawal, they might have to adjust, they might have to alter course, they may have to give up one of the strategies that they were using, but they're not giving up. They're not just laying down and dying. They're going to push forward, and they're going to try to make the best of the situation that they find themselves in. And that's the way you should do it too. That's the way you should see life. It's okay to get knocked down, to be frustrated. It's okay to get just completely wrecked sometimes. That's what it means. That's human. That's the human experience, that you're going to deal with that. It doesn't matter what you're doing, who you are, where you are, anything like that. That's just part of the human experience. So when you hit those times, give yourself a moment to breathe. That's what I do, like following the parallel or the allegory of jiu-jitsu. If I'm getting crushed and somebody's trying to choke me out, but I can tell they don't quite have it, and I don't know how I'm going to get out of this, but I know now that I have a chance. So I will slow down, I'll breathe, I'll pause. Maybe I'm not attacking, I'm not even defending, I'm just gathering myself. That's okay. That's part of the game of life. And you're not giving up, you're regrouping and getting ready to soldier on, to sally forth and launch a counterattack against your opponent when you're rolling in jiu-jitsu, or against life when it seems to be trying to knock you down. Maybe you've lost your job. Maybe your wife has left you. Maybe your poor puppy has passed away or something. But it's not time to give up. It's time to feel it in the moment, appreciate the pain, the grief, whatever it is that you're going through, but realize that it is not over. The fight is only beginning, and it will always be a fight. And if you're not struggling and you're not fighting, then you're not growing. You are lying down, you are dying, you are not becoming a better person, you're becoming an employee at Twitter or something like that. You're just worthless and useless, and I'm not saying that those people are, but based on some of the videos that came out recently, you don't want to be like them. That they're not learning, they're not growing, they're not moving forward in life in the way that will help them or the people around them. If you want to be somebody who helps yourself or helps others around you, you have to constantly be pushing against all the barriers that are in your way, because that is life. That is all life is, barriers. And how do you get past them? How do you go around them? How do you go over them? How do you get under them? The Marines say, what do they say? Improvise, overcome, adapt. I might have that in the wrong order. Adapt, improvise, overcome, something like that. But that goes back to my video, Embrace the Suck. You got to live through it. It's gonna make you better. It sucks, and you should not give up while you're doing that. Embrace it, live through it, feel the moment, and then get ready to make the next push. Because if you don't, you're gonna die, and you're gonna land a job at some awful place like Twitter, where you just don't get to grow. Maybe that's changing, right? Sorry, I'm bringing in current events, but I think that's just a good example of something that it's just a good example of what you don't want to be. All right, well, that's my message today. Don't give up, never give up. Give yourself some time and push forward. And Kepler, you want to come say hi? You're staring at me. Creepy serial killer stare. Come here, come on. Come say hi to everybody before I turn this thing off. All right, he's not gonna. Kepler, come here. Come here. Yeah, come on. Come on. Okay, well, all right. Well, that's as good as it's gonna get. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening and watching. And if you found this meaningful or helpful, please feel free to share it with somebody who you think might benefit from it. Once again, I'm not here for the subscriber count or likes or anything like that. If I can send a message that helps at least one person, I'm thankful for that. If you have anything that you'd like to add to this or join in the conversation, comment below, send an email, etc., etc. Thank you all so much. I'll see you next time. Stay vigilant.